Have you ever wondered why it's impossible to lift the Titanic? The answer begins with its current resting place, deep within the icy grasp of the North Atlantic Ocean. More than 2 miles below the surface, the Titanic lies in a world of darkness and intense pressure, where every square inch of the ship endures a force equivalent to about a small car. This immense pressure makes any salvage operation a complex and potentially dangerous endeavor. Moreover, the Titanic has been a resident of this oceanic underworld for over a century now, which has led to significant deterioration. The unforgiving sea has taken its toll on the once grand ship, corroding its iron hull and eating away at the intricate details that once made it an icon of luxury. So the Titanic's resting place itself presents a formidable challenge. But there's more to it. Let's dive deeper. It's not just about where the Titanic is, but also about what state it's in. The Titanic, once a symbol of human ingenuity, now lies in a fragile state at the bottom of the North Atlantic Ocean. Over a century of being submerged in the sea has left it victim to nature's relentless forces. One of the main culprits of the Titanic's deterioration is rusticles, icicle-like formations of rust that hang from the ship's hull. These rusticles are not just surface level, they are deeply embedded into the ship's structure, gnawing away at its integrity. These formations have made the Titanic extremely delicate and prone to collapse. But that's not all. The Titanic is also subject to other forms of corrosion, thanks to the salty seawater, strong currents, and the pressure of being 2.5 miles under the surface. This has resulted in a ship that's not just heavy, but also incredibly brittle. So imagine trying to lift such a fragile structure. Even the slightest mistake could cause the Titanic to disintegrate, turning this once majestic ship into nothing more than a pile of rust on the ocean floor. The challenges of lifting the Titanic are not just about weight, but about preserving what's left of this historic artifact. The Titanic is not just a heavy object, it's a delicate, crumbling artifact. But that's not the end of the story. Technical challenges aside, we also have to consider the legal and ethical aspects. Diving into the murky depths of maritime law, the Titanic isn't just a shipwreck, it's a protected site. In the early 90s, the United States and the United Kingdom signed an agreement that designates the Titanic as an international maritime memorial. This agreement prohibits any disturbance of the wreck, including lifting it from its final resting place. The purpose of these protections is to preserve the historical and cultural significance of the Titanic and to respect the memory of the more than 1,500 souls who perished on that fateful night in April of 1912. But it's not just a matter of law. There are also ethical considerations to take into account. The Titanic is essentially a mass grave, a solemn reminder of a tragic event. Disturbing the site could be seen as a violation of the sanctity of those who lost their lives. Many argue that the Titanic should be left undisturbed, to rest in peace on the ocean floor. In the end, lifting the Titanic isn't a simple task of engineering and logistics. It's a complex issue, fraught with legal restrictions and ethical dilemmas. The Titanic holds a significant place in our shared history, and its resting place serves as a poignant reminder of the human lives that were lost. So, lifting the Titanic isn't just a technical challenge, it's also a legal and ethical minefield. So why is it impossible to lift the Titanic, you may ask? Let's take a moment to recap the main points we've discussed. Firstly, the Titanic rests at an extreme depth, where the pressure is immense, making any retrieval operation incredibly challenging. It's not like lifting a sunken boat from a lake. We're talking about a massive ship, 2.5 miles beneath the surface of the Atlantic Ocean. Secondly, the Titanic's fragile state complicates matters further. The ship has been lying underwater for over a century. It's rusting, decomposing, and falling apart. It's not a solid piece that can just be hoisted up. Lastly, there are significant legal and ethical challenges. The Titanic is a gravesite, a place of remembrance for those who lost their lives. Disturbing it could be seen as disrespectful. It's these combined factors that make lifting the Titanic not just impossible but also undesirable. It's a part of history that will continue to rest in peace, undisturbed on the ocean floor.